Welcome to Nerd Positive. This is a Facebook and YouTube live podcast that celebrates everything we feel is awesome in hopes of spreading our fandom to you. After the live show, you can catch us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and maybe we'll even do a TikTok as well. And also anywhere else you find your audio fix. From sci-fi to fantasy, movies to TV shows, and comics to video games, we explore the universes that have captured our imaginations and made us lifelong fans in our search for the quest for the best. Expect passionate discussions, in-depth analyses, side quests, and maybe even a few things hiding under the bed. Whether you're a die-hard yippee-ki-yay motherfucker or just dipping your toes in the fandom waters, Nerd Positive is the place to be. I'm the host, the self-proclaimed Emperor of Awesome, Bradley Buchanan, and with me every week is my co-host, the unverified twin of Dwayne, The Rock Johnson, in the eyebrows, the unverified twin of Dave Bautista, in the head wrinkles, the unverified twin of Carl Weathers, in the mustache,
the flavor saver,
the unverified twin of Tony Todd, in the right earlobe, and the unverified twin of Shamar Moore, in the nipples.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Brian S. Dennis, where this week the S stands for Power Man.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. All right, man. So what are we doing today?
Well, this week we're going to continue with the Nerdageddon Tournament of Awesome. So as we're recording tonight, folks, across the Nerd Positive universe, it is January 19th, 2025, which is the day before MLK Day. It's also the day before we induct the new president of the United States for the second time. And what we're going to do in honor of MLK Day is we're going to run through, in our minds, the 10 most badass characters of color throughout the universe. So they have to be fictional, and beyond that, that is pretty much our list. We'll run through our phase. We got a little twist on the tournament last week if you saw how we did it, and we're going to, again, at the end of tonight's recording, we will know beyond a shadow of a doubt, and we will forever smell what they're cooking, even though I will say no characters by my twin, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, made my list. However, they will smell what he's cooking, as we will know without a shadow of doubt, once for all, the undisputed most badass fictional character of all time with the winner of tonight's Nerdageddon Tournament of Awesome.
Yes, indeed. All right, so we got a little bit of things to talk about before we get into that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know what? This week on Lunch Break Reviews, there was nothing because I don't know, man. I got no reason. I need to.
It felt like a short and a long week combined. I don't know about you, but especially Monday through Friday, it felt like the week was so fast and so slow at the same time, my friend.
Yeah, man. And I'm getting ready to go to Virginia I'm leaving for Virginia on Tuesday.
Sweet.
I'll be there till Friday. So I'm flying out, going to teach, do a little bit of marketing instruction to the amazing new marketing person out of Blacksburg, Virginia. Her name is Ruby. So that'll be fun to get to hang out with her and hang out with my boss for a few days. I'm sure we will be getting Nerd Positive a lot.
Especially is it around the DC area? Where in Virginia are you heading?
So we it's where Blacksburg, Virginia.
Yeah, you just said that, Blacksburg. Okay.
Yep, I don't know where in the state that is because I haven't map quested it yet.
Here's the best part of Virginia. There's always a bar open. So
yeah, and it's right next to Virginia Tech. So so I'm sure there'll be plenty to
go to. No frat parties, sir.
I will not go to any frat parties.
All right.
They would take one look at me and they'd be like, no, we do not measure up to the levels of awesome coming to this party. Therefore, we have to ask you to leave.
You're making us look bad. You're making us look bad. Yeah. You just have everyone being all the beard. Like, how do I get to that level of beard gang?
It just grows on you. So
That is the dad joke of the episode and the winning moment of the episode. That is, we are not even 5 minutes into our recording, and you've just won the episode.
Brad, thank you very much for that. So what do you think I could do to maybe spruce up the lunch break reviews a little bit in connection with the Nerd Positive? I still need to get us on there to do some lunch break review
Sure.
debating, but instead of going over the episodes that I did this week or I'm going to do next week, because I do have two ready. I just have to post them. I got Absolute Batman and Absolute Wonder Woman #3.
Sure.
But what do you think I could do to, because you've listened to it all, you've checked it out. What can I do to maybe make it a little bit better?
I always think in the way I always look at the lunch break reviews of like, what was lunch like, especially in like middle school. I feel like that was, for most of us, at least in our age bracket, public school lunch, especially those middle grade years. So you're older than elementary school, so you're kind of getting what is kind of good to eat and choices, but you're not at that high school, so you can't like leave campus to drive. You can't drive to leave campus. So that's really kind of that sweet spot of like, I realized that what fresh hell public school lunch can be. So I was thinking, depending on, we can workshop this more. I was thinking of, instead of like a scale, talk about what type of, if this what we're reviewing by the end of the review, if this was like a middle school public school lunch item, what would it be? Like, is it that dried out Salisbury steak that's like a hockey puck with gravy on it? Or for me, this was just and I've never been able to find this in the real world outside of public school, that uber cheesy, perfectly rectangular piece of pizza that you get like on Friday, or when, and I am not a native Iowan, but Bradley and I both live in Iowa as we're recording this. But I remember also when I had to take my first taste, literally, of Iowa, was having to take a standardized test called the Iowa Test of Basic Skills.
Yes.
And the thing that they gave us, by the way, before having us sit for half a day in front of a standardized test that we had to sit still for, this is what they gave us to eat. Orange drink, which meant it was basically orange flavored water with an incredible amount of sugar, and cinnamon toast, which was basically enriched white bread covered in cinnamon and sugar. So they gave us nothing but sugar.
Yeah.
And then set us in these hard benches and go, now pay attention, don't move for 4 hours.
Yeah. Yep. And that was the 80s, and those are the days I want back.
Yes. Because the 90s I can't get back because I don't remember a good portion of them.
That's right.
So I went from childhood to nothing to parenthood. And nothing meant the best times I've had, I'm sure. I just don't have memories. And because we both had those years before everybody had a lovely cell phone, thankfully, there's no video evidence.
I love it, man. I think, yes, we're going to workshop that, because I'm going to definitely work that in. I was thinking about doing an actor or actress sandwich and start with their early career and build it up.
I like that.
Well, I think so. I want to do some changes because we're always, ideas are coming and we always change things around a little bit. But
keep it tight.
That's right, man. Well, let's talk some favorites of the week, man. You want to go first?
Yes, sir. So a couple favorites of the week. So I got it. So we've talked about some of the shows that have come. Like, so the new episode of The Pit dropped again. Brad, if you've not checked out The Pit, such a really good show.
I have.
The Bookie continues just to be just like a half-hour episode of Psych and all those great Psych dynamics. And then 3 hour-long dramas that I really have gotten into. Will Trent. It keeps being Will Trent. The Rookie. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. I was thinking of something else, so that I'll talk to you in a minute.
Yeah. So Will Trent, the first episode of Will Trent, been really good. The Rookie, I was a big fan of the previous Rookie character, officer. I think it was Truman, who left the show. But the 2 new rookies that they brought in, Texas and I'm going to forget, but they're basically 2 new additions to the character. I like the story arcs that they're doing. Did Jenna Dewan leave the show? Because they've not featured her at all. They've talked about she's on a trip, but sometimes in storyline that can be a code for someone is not coming back. Do we know that she leave the show?
She did not, but this season, at least this season, she's just going to be a supporting actor.
Okay.
So will be back, but not in a full-time thing. So, which is fine, because I think Nathan Fillion is getting ready to cut his time down there as well,
And
or
that
even leaving.
And while he's been a central part, I mean, they have such a great and it's been a show that honestly, if you've not watched the Rookie, this is the 7th season.
Yeah.
They for the most part have not had a. I don't mean this as a criticism, but similar to ER,
Mhm.
it's always been kind of an ensemble show where people have come and gone.
Yeah.
And I think the only ones that have been in the entire show from the beginning of the first would be the characters portrayed by Nathan Fillion, the captain's character, the TO
Mhm.
by Tim, and then Lucy. Oh no, Lucy Chen,
Mhm.
and then the other that now the
One of the
detective.
trainers.
Yeah, one. So they've had 5, but then
Yeah.
everybody else have kind of gone in and out. But again, I think it's a strong show. By the way,
Yeah.
if Jenna Dewan is only as a supporting character, I guess you better step
Support.
it up. Did you like that?
Well done.
Did you like
All right,
that?
we're tied. We're tied.
Okay.
We're tied.
Okay.
We're tied.
So then the other thing that I want to mention is, have you had a chance to check out DOC?
That's what I was going to be bringing up, Doc.
Go for it. Go for it.
Dude, it's great, man. I watched it this
really
morning and I was just like, I was blown away. I actually got
Yes.
about 20, 30 minutes into it because I couldn't doom scroll on TikTok this morning. So I was catching up on TV and waited for my wife to get up so she could watch it as well.
Yep.
Man, good concept.
And
Great
they made
concept.
it deeper than I thought they would have. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're not sure, if you don't know the concept, basically you have a individual who's a doctor, hence the name Doc. Get it?
Mhm.
Let's say she is not a nice person, or at least the way she's presented at the beginning of the show. She has an accident where she loses 8 years of her memory, and the person she was 8 years ago, but the person she currently is, or that folks think she is vastly different. And it shows that was a big 8 years. And the more they delve in to those pieces, I'm like, this is. My concern would be it'll be kind of a gimmick show, like, oh yeah, she lost her memory, but they really have taken time to show how that not only affects her, but everybody around her. So I really enjoyed the show. By the way, it's good to see Scott Wolf back in the league, right? Yeah,
Agree.
Scotty
Now,
Wolf, thank you.
the guy, I mean, I know it was no party of 5, you know.
You beat me. I was good. I was full of one. Nice job, sir.
You know,
we're here
but
all week. We're here all week. Yeah,
exactly. The boyfriend,
yes.
dude. Okay, hear me out.
Okay.
They haven't cast him yet. Kyle Rayner.
The jaw, the sensitivity,
dude.
Yeah,
He
he
needs to be in DC or Marvel. I mean, the guy. I love the guy.
The only other character that you said that I could think of maybe for Rayner would be, and I can't think of his name, but it's James Franco's little brother.
Oh, Dave Franco.
Dave, I couldn't remember Dave's first name.
Yeah.
Like possibly Dave as well. But if you bring Dave, then James might be on set, and that's going to be creepy. So maybe not.
Yeah.
Now, maybe
I know we're getting a Now You See Me 3 later on in the year. So.
Oh, are we real? Oh,
yes.
Two was bad.
Yeah, I loved it though.
Did you?
It's a guilty pleasure. It's a.
See, that's how I felt about 1. 2, I just couldn't quite.
I mean,
you know, the only thing.
Yeah, they rushed it.
Maybe if Ruffalo, comes back and you don't like him when he's angry, or he's always angry.
Yeah.
Maybe that, or maybe somehow Woody Harrelson is fighting off zombies.
Just mix it all up.
Yeah, just do the whole thing. By the way, I think you just gave me an idea for next week. By the way, anyway, okay. So beyond that, I just want to throw out a movie that is my movie of the week, and then I'm done with my favorites.
Cool.
Which, if you've not seen it, it's a Prime movie called Unstoppable with Jennifer Lopez. It is wonderful, and bro, it's a true story. And if you've not watched it, it will bring about all the ocular perspiration, especially towards the end.
I was gonna watch it today, and then I was gonna also watch the one with Jamie Foxx and Cameron Diaz as well.
You could hold off on the Fox Diaz one. It's not bad.
Okay,
but it's in the same vein as Night and Day, and a lot of those like Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Like we're a couple and we're spies, and you can. It's one of those It's one of those movies that within the first 10 minutes you can probably figure out what the plot's gonna be. And also here's what's gonna happen that no one sees coming, but everybody sees coming.
Yeah,
it's fine. It's not bad at all. And Fox and Cameron Diaz have really good chemistry. You can believe them as a couple. So there's that. There's totally that.
Awesome. So Deal or No Deal Island is awesome. Great. Traders is fantastic. I like my trashy reality competition shows.
Is there a chance we can get a Deathstroke versus Nightcrawler?
God, that would be so amazing.
Cummings might enjoy that in a whole nother level, but all right, we'll
Yes.
move forward. Yeah.
Oh, Beast Games. I'm caught up on Beast Games.
Yes.
So good, so good. And High Potential. We didn't say anything about High Potential.
High
That
Potential
show's
is back, is doing well.
fantastic. I did start on episode 1 of Walking Dead, The Ones Who Lived.
Okay.
I fell asleep.
You got further than I did. I got a halfway and was like, yeah, no.
Yeah, so
there was a point in the original series that Rick Grimes began to annoy me, and he became my least favorite part. And when he was gone after the episode and again, if you've not seen Walking Dead, it's your own fault at this point.
Mhm.
But after the bridge, and they went, it felt like 2 seasons. I thought the show was better without him to wedge him back in. It's just kind of like I mean, by that point, it was all about Daryl Dixon and that group, which I felt was a better. I just felt the dynamics were better than Here Comes Rick Grimes again. So yeah. And there's just no reason that couple would work. I'm sorry, you don't got this badass sister with a samurai sword. Who then you've got Rick Grimes like me. My wife cheated on me, had a baby with a guy. Oh, sad. I'm sad.
I'm sure we might be talking about Michonne a little bit later.
You never know.
You never know.
All right, my friend. Anything else for your favorites of the week?
Other than that, Absolute Batman #3 and #4 is dropped. I haven't read #4. I got it, and then as well as Absolute Wonder Woman #3 is out as well. Big thing here: Wonder Woman is disabled. Wonder Woman has
what is a disability?
She only has one arm. One of her arms is a magical arm. The one with all the tattoos.
Okay.
That's all magic. She had to sacrifice or spoiler alert if you're not reading comics, or if you'd rather just the spoilers here, I'm here for you. She had to sacrifice something important to get Steve Trevor out of hell. And so she cut off her own freaking arm to do
badass.
That is badass. And dude, I love the Absolute universe. All 3, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, are killing it. In March, they're releasing Absolute Flash, which is going to be Wally West.
Okay.
They're going to be doing Absolute
Not Barry
Martian
Allen.
Manhunter.
Wally West. Okay.
And Absolute Green Lantern is going to be John Stewart.
You had me there.
So, dude, I mean, like the Absolute universe it's the best thing DC's put out in a while. So
the only thing they miss on the marketing would be if they'd have taken the E off and had it sponsored by the alcohol.
Right. Yeah, get some vodka in there. I think they should definitely do that.
Yeah, here's DC by vodka. There you go. Yes, sir.
Yes, we can make those kind of drinks.
Yeah. The bat. I want to meet the bat bartender. Yes.
He's 7 foot tall and's got an axe on his. He's got an axe on his chest.
Facts.
Right.
What would you do if you caught Damian Wayne drinking underage? Like, what do you really do at that moment? Like, did you? Like, I know
can I have one?
At that moment, like the kid was raised by the League of Shadows. He probably has had much stiffer drinks than that. Then the other thing is, like, let me get this straight, Dad. You put me in the line of fire fighting adults who are trying to kill me, and you're mad 'cause I had a shot of whiskey. Seriously? Yeah.
I mean, there's celebratory shots in the Batcave after every meeting with Scarecrow.
I can imagine.
Yeah. And all the other rogues.
Can you imagine having a talk after like Damian or young Dick Grayson, any of them, after they've gone toe to toe with Harley Quinn or Catwoman or Poison Ivy, and they're like, so Bats had some feelings during that fight,
and
then you can see Batman going, this moment comes in every young vigilante's life where you understand that when a hero loves a villain, or a hero loves a hero, or a villain loves a villain, or a hero loves a villain who used to be a hero, who's now a villain again, that possibly was burned by acid or exposed to some mutagenic, radioactive, or had the power of plants. There comes that moment where you understand that, you know what? That's why we have that extra compartment utility bat. And then he pulls out like the bat condoms.
But they're in a box. Where's that box? Under
Under
the
the
bed.
bed. And we've gone full circle. All right. So let's get to the heart of our first part of our discussion tonight. So
Yes.
those of you that know our show, you know, Brad and I are both fans of professional wrestling, primarily WWE, even though AEW is a thing. So what we're going to talk about is they have two primary shows, Raw, which is on Netflix, SmackDown, that is on USA. And I just picked 5 points over the two shows just to get your 2 cents on them, sir. And then we'll jump to our topic of the night. So are you ready, my friend?
I'm ready, man.
All right, sir. Want to wrestle? Here we go. All right. So one of the big things that came out was when they started off Raw on Netflix this past Monday was CM Punk coming out the heels of beating Seth Rollins, and then he was quickly interrupted first by Seth freaking Rollins. And then he was eventually interrupted by Drew McIntyre. So before I ask you about your thoughts on this was a quick throwaway, but the camera caught it. I'm assuming he said it so the camera could catch it. But when Drew's music hit, excuse me, not Drew, when Seth's music hit, did you hear CM Punk's quick comment when he read that Seth Rollins is coming out?
Did not.
He is facing away from the ramp towards where the commentator said, and the camera's just off center of him, and you hear him leaning on the ropes going, why couldn't I get interrupted by Rhea Ripley?
Oh, I did see that. Yeah.
That nothing else on Raw could compete with. I almost take it like, no, I'm going to save it to the podcast. So that right there may have made CM Punk my favorite wrestler of all time at this point.
Like, he's the best in the world.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. But with that being said, so the big thing that came out of this is that we're going to have, no shocker, but Punk, Drew, and Seth Rollins joining in the Royal Rumble. So now we have a Royal Rumble. I'll probably not have the entirety of it, but we know we have on the men's side of the equation, we got CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Seth freaking Rollins, previously John Cena, Jey Uso, and Roman Reigns. Do you think the winner of the Rumble will be any of those 6 individuals I just named, or do you still think you take the field? So I'll give those names again. Ooh. Punk, McIntyre, Seth, Cena, Jey Uso, Roman Reigns, any one of them versus the other 24 competitors.
I do think it's going to be one of them.
One of those 6. All right, yes. That's fair. That's fair. I also agree. We'll talk more about this in the future, but a part of me really wants it to be Dominic Mysterio, just somehow. So, and I'm sure it won't happen. It shouldn't happen, but right. I would just laugh of this one as well. So that was thing 2. The other one is so we had the debut of No Fear, Cero Miedo, Penta, previously known as Penta Jr. in AEW. One half of the Lucha Bros, but we had Penta debut against Chad Gables. What are your thoughts on Penta's debut?
Dude, I thought it was underwhelming.
It was.
Man, like they kept on, they brought this guy up to be this amazing luchador, and dude, he went too long. It wasn't, he wasn't flying high. I mean, I thought Chad Gable should have won that match.
Gable did the heavy lifting. The way he sold that Canadian Destroyer, I know they called it the Mexican Destroyer in the match, was incredible. That's a move that gets spammed a lot in some other organizations. You saw him break it out one time. Gable made it look like it would end the match, and then he won the match quickly after that. It was a bit underwhelming. I personally know some people online hated the promo. Aska said he went too long. Yeah. I thought the promo was great, given that they're in Cali, a very heavy Latino crowd. His daughters were there. He probably will not make a habit of doing extra long promos. I heard that they actually had to trim some other things due to him going long, not only in the match, but also the promo. He had some botches. That kind of comes hand in hand with the lucha style because it's so fast, it's so bouncy. I've heard people online also point out that the WWE uses actual ropes versus AEW and most other organizations use cables. So there's a different feel and spring to them if you do things that use the ropes a lot. We'll see, but I think I personally, again, the match you knew Gable was not winning that match. You're right. If you go on merit, possibly Gable should have won that one. But it'll be interesting also to see what happens if we eventually get some type of connect with him and the LWO, especially with Rey Mysterio, or what that happens there. Or you may see some people moving due to the transfer. All right. Next up, the women's Intercontinental title match. You had Lyra to crown the first ever
Yeah,
women's Intercontinental champion, Lyra Valkyrie and Dakota Kai. Thoughts on that?
dude, that was a great match. Dude,
Are you good with
that
the winner?
I am good with the winner. I'm good.
Okay.
I mean, Dakota. There's a good case that Dakota Kai should have won that, but they really pushing Valkyria, and
Yep. Yep. So
I don't
Lyra was
think she's going to hold it long.
I agree. I think she will lose it before Chelsea Green loses hers.
Yeah.
Lyra is. You also argue that the women's division on Raw might be a little bit stronger than SmackDown. I personally like. I figured when they released the bracket, it would come down to Lyra Valkyrie and Dakota Kai. I am a huge Dakota Kai fan. She's had the
Yeah.
injury bug a lot in her career, and she's not ever held a singles championship. I was really hoping it would be Dakota Kai, possibly leaning into something with the rest of her damage control partners. But Lyra, I agree with you. I'm fine with either way, and I agree with you that I could see Lyra losing it before Chelsea Green loses the women's United States title over on SmackDown. Last couple things. So then I'm jumping to SmackDown. We had Bayley versus our girl Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany time. Tiffany defending the championship against Bayley. Shock of shockers. Tiffany retained as she should have. But just overall thoughts on that match.
It was good. It was. I thought Tiffany Stratton, man, she deserves what she has right now.
She does. And by the way, Ludwig Heiger, you're a lucky man.
Yep.
I thought it was a good match. Two very good performers. And this will set up probably going to get eventually a Nia Jax Tiffany match. But it does make me think also about, which is why I brought this up, as we're moving into Royal Rumble season, which is 2 weeks from yesterday. We're starting to hear more about we're hearing it about the men's side of the draw, but also we're going to see more and more women. Are you thinking about, again, so this was a year, meaning 2024, that from the women's roster really had no Charlotte, had zero Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch was gone for majority, and Rhea Ripley was out in spurts due to injuries. I'm waiting for at least one of those three, Charlotte, Becky, or Alexa, to make a comeback, especially because I think whether it's Raw or SmackDown, probably both, could use a big name going into Mania season. Just your thoughts. Which of those three do you think is most likely to be back first? Charlotte, Becky, or Alexa?
I don't think it's going to be Becky Lynch because she's got some movies coming out later in the year.
Gotcha.
So because she got a part of the new Star Trek show, so she's gonna be a Vulcan.
Okay.
And then like apparently there's another thing that she's in. And I can't think of it right now. In 2025.
Okay.
So I'm guessing she's gonna come back right around that time to promote that stuff.
Sure.
Charlotte, I think it's gonna be Alexa Bliss.
So Alexa's been a little over a year. Yeah, she's been gone. And the difference is, so Becky took some time off, and that let her contract lapse. She will be re-signed. I don't think she wants to go anywhere. Because her husband is a big name in the WWE. Charlotte was out with, I believe, a knee injury. I've not looked for any updates on that. Alexa was out due to pregnancy and some maternity leave. Of the three of them, probably is the one that could come back the easiest. And I think it would be really good to see her maybe on the she would come back, I'm assuming, as a heel. So she could come back against either one of them. Obviously, size wise, her versus Tiffany makes a little more sense versus her versus Liv, and her versus Rhea, excuse me. Also, her versus Rhea could look a lot like a repeat of Liv versus Rhea. They just look very similar. Agreed. All right. And then my last one, because I know he's one of your absolute favorites. What do you think is the mystery stipulation in the Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens ladder? It's a ladder match. So general ladder match have very few rules, or other than climbing the ladder and pulling down the title. So what do you think possibly could be a stipulation for a ladder match?
I think they're going to be roped together. I don't think it's ever been done in a ladder match. I don't know, but why not?
That's a good idea. Why not? I do like that idea. I'm just very curious, and it's very much, again, I got to give Kevin Owens his flowers on this, how he's really made lemonade out of lemons. I was gonna say something
Mm.
else. Because this angle did not start well, and he has,
No.
and I have not bought a WWE t-shirt in a while now. I need to see if their shop has the new shirt he's wearing, which is um the Canadian Dream and son of like an IT support person, which is what his dad does apparently, was the play on Cody being the son of a plumber, which was Dusty's thing. That Kevin Owens, I'm assuming he has some input in that. That's just a great funny t-shirt.
Yeah.
And then we've already talked about this, and I'm sure we'll talk about the Rumble. Do you think there's any way Kevin Owens beats Cody for the championship at the Rumble?
No.
Okay. All right.
No.
Okay. I agree with you. The fact that Roman Reigns had a dang near 4-year title run, I can see them wanting to give Cody basically a year, making it from from WrestleMania to WrestleMania. That's not even a guarantee he will lose at WrestleMania. He's an extremely popular champion. But I would say, I would say Kevin Owens is the first challenger of the last year that if something happened, it would be I could be, and also with it being a ladder match, Cody doesn't get pinned. So that's your way around it. So, and who knows, maybe you draw again. Who knows? Maybe The Rock interferes. I do think we got to get The Rock at WrestleMania if it's at all possible. He's also got movies going on, so he's hard to get to. So that was our quick WD. Do you want to wrestle recap? And
it's
now
WD-40.
Yes, I like that. Now we're gonna jump into our most badass people of color version of the Nerdaget.
That's right. All right, so this is how it goes. We're going to start with a draft. So each of us creates a top 10 list for the episode's bracket topic. From that 10, we're going to choose 8. I'll explain how that happens shortly. Round 1's going to be the setup. So we're gonna roll the dice, literally a 20-sided dice to determine where our people are going to go. Once we get our 10 spots filled, this is how it's going to work. Okay. A 1 and 11 is going to be spot 1, a 2 and a 12, so on and so on. Once we have our 10 spots, then we're going to roll the dice 2 more times. And wherever the dice lands, we're going to X those people out of the bracket. Then we're going to have a series of questions. And the questions is going to go like this. It's going to be number 1 against number 2. Who moves on? You get to create your own version of that win. You can pick it strategically. You can go, from the comics, from whatever. However, when you get to one person, we're going to swap sides. Then I will be doing it or Brian will be doing it. We're going to do the same thing until it is a 1-on-1. And then Brian and I are going to debate a little bit. We're going to spell out exactly who our number 1 is, which character it is, and then we're going to have them fight a little bit. We'll debate it, see who's a better character for the topic of the day.
Because just like Highlander, there can be only one.
That's right. That is right. I can't wait for that movie, man. I cannot wait for this to be rebooted with Henry Cavill.
Yes. I want a Highlander versus Witcher fight, though. That's just me.
I mean, I'm for that. Yeah.
Yes.
What happens if you cut a Witcher's head off? I guess you get a head above everybody else.
All right. Okay, my friend.
Maybe just pop the white head.
Oh, God.
It's a big one.
Oh, man. Okay, you're going to save me from myself at this point.
All right. Do you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
You go first. I got my spot, so I will keep track of I will roll. I keep track of your brackets, your numbers, all the fun thing, my friend. So when you're ready, I'm ready, bro.
All right, so I have some honorable mentions that I want to bring up before we get into my top 10.
Yes, sir.
I got eight honorable mentions. Okay. At 18, I got Static Shock.
Good choice.
Great character. So I'll Virgil. Be gonna. That's right, Virgil Hawkins. So my list is very, very comic orientated because I'm a huge comic guy. So Number 17. I'm probably going to kick myself for not putting him in the top 10, but from DC Comics, Cyborg.
Nice pick. Nice pick.
Yeah, man, like one of the best characters in comics, but they don't really do anything with Cyborg anymore. And number 16 is another really overpowered character that Marvel just can't figure out what to do with, and that is the Blue Marvel.
I thought Blue Marvel almost made my list, and Blue Marvel is really interesting because it's one of kind of the beasts we have with Superman that's hard to write compelling stories with someone that can basically do everything. You get and to be in all seriousness and be in all fairness, DC has done this for decades of creating a reason for Superman to believe at least Superman is in peril. Marvel has some very, very similarly powered, if not more powerful characters, such as the Blue Marvel, who literally can do anything, and that character is really not ever used.
Yeah,
ever used. Right at this point, we're over a decade into the MCU. We've not heard a sniff of that character. Right now, the name personally isn't great. It's one of those things that doesn't really keep up over time.
Yeah.
But even if you just did that, but I agree with you. So Blue Marvel is number 16. All right.
And then, when you're making a badass list of people of color,
yes, sir,
you gotta have the original badass Baracus from the A-Team.
Pity the fool.
Pity the fool. That's right.
Yes, sir.
14, Jefferson Pierce, Black Lightning, man.
Yes.
I mean, Static, Black Lightning, dude, like just great characters.
Absolutely.
I love the show. The show is fantastic.
Yes.
It was the last season didn't do good. I think at that time we had Black Lightning, we had Batwoman, which wasn't even good.
No.
We had Arrow was still going on, Flash was still going on, Legends of Tomorrow, and at this point, Legends of Tomorrow was the best show out of them all.
Oh yeah,
even Flash. So is what it is. Number 13, man. Oh, this one is gonna hurt because I this one probably should have been on my top 10, but Power Man himself, Luke freaking Cage.
Hence, that is why the S this week stood for Power Man. So which version would you be thinking? You talking comic books? You talking the Mike Coulter show one? Like which Power Man are you thinking? Sweet Christmas, my friend.
Sweet Christmas in the comics, man. He's done so much more in the comics than he did in the show. But I do think we are gonna I bet we're gonna get a cameo in Born Again.
Yeah, and to his credit, he does Jessica Jones in both. So
I mean, yeah. He's a kid with Jessica Jones who grows up to become Captain America.
Absolutely.
And
this is for a moment. Let's respect and acknowledge Kristen Ritter.
Oh, yes. That bitch. In Apartment 23.
Ooh, Don't Trust to Be in Apartment 23. Fantastic.
That's right.
Great show, and I don't need to trust you. I just need to be your neighbor, and I'm a very happy camper. Yes, sir.
Number 12, I kind of alluded to this one earlier. Michonne from The Walking Dead.
Absolutely.
Man, you know what? Like you talk about a Highlander, I want to see that fight. I'll see Michonne.
Yes.
Maybe she is a Highlander. Maybe she is an immortal and she just doesn't know it yet.
Michonne versus Samurai Jack. Who you got?
Samurai Jack.
Okay.
Samurai Jack is just too freaking awesome. And
had one of the best themes.
Dude, Afro Samurai should have made my list.
I thought about Afro Samurai as well. Plus, we'll talk about that one.
I mean, I may already have enough Samuel Jackson.
I was going to say there may be that, but come on now, the Samurai Jack theme song was the bomb.
It is.
Yes.
And number 11, I have the one, the only Morpheus from the Matrix.
Which version?
Matrix
OG
movies
or the sad program
the OG
thing. Yeah.
Matrix 1.
Yes.
Matrix 1.
By the way, this proved that Lawrence Fishburne may be smart. Like he's like, you know what? Yeah, I don't need a paycheck that bad. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I'm good. All right, so now I'm gonna be rolling the dice for my top 10.
All right, let's hit it, sir.
Okay. All right, rolling the dice, and I'm going to give you who first. I'm going to start.
Okay.
I'm going to work my way down up. So I'm going to start off. My number 10 is going to be Mr. Terrific. It's time to roll the dice to see where this ends up. 18. So it's going to be my 8th spot.
Yep.
All right, Mr. Terrific. I knew he's going to be on your list. Absolutely know he's going to be on your list because I know he's one of your favorite characters.
He is one of my favorite characters.
And he's one of the smartest people in comics, so I got to have him in there.
Absolutely. And a great mask. I think his mask is fantastic.
That's right. And number 9, Spawn. Where is Al Simmons going?
Woo.
He's going to be in my number 9 spot.
Fair.
Okay.
And a character who at one point literally becomes both God and the devil. So yes.
This is true.
All right. Imagine a world you figure out both that God and the devil are a black man. Just saying. Yes. By the way, before you get forward, let's give this with State of the World today. No longer is Sunday dedicated only to the rising of Christ, but it's also the day that TikTok has risen again from the dead.
That is correct. Yes. It was dead for 15 hours.
Yeah, something like that. I'm going to go to hell for that. All right.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right, man.
Well, yeah.
All right. Friend. Next up is Storm from the X-Men.
Great pick. Omega level mutant.
And that's an 8, so I got to re-roll. 13. So number 3 spot.
3. Yep. That is Spawn.
Okay, this is one of those that I kept on going back and forth. I was like, okay, Luke Cage was in there, Black Lightning was in there, Blue Marvel was in there, but then I ended up taking Blue Marvel out and put this character in, just because I do have some other characters that are very, very similar to Blue Marvel.
Okay,
but this one, I'm like, wait, I have to have this person in my list because it's Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Very good. Very good.
I can't make a list with, especially a list like of the badass people of color without Miles Morales.
And the best throw of the bunch, by the way.
Oh, 100%. Yes. 12. All right. So 2.
Put him in number 2.
Okay. Now, I'm a big DC fan. We all know this. I'm also a big Green Lantern fan. I'm also pretty sure that this character is going to be on your list as well.
All right, my friend.
We have to do the Architect, the Army Vet. Yes, the one, the only. Aaron Pierce is going to be him in the live action. John Stewart. 17. So that's going to be in my 7th spot. Okay. My next choice. This is a character that Samuel L. Jackson played. I could have went Frozone. He should have been in my honorable mentions, but then I got to thinking there's one character that Samuel L. Jackson has been that's probably better than all of his other ones. He was a master Jedi, Mace fucking Windu, and that is going to be 6. Did I already do 6?
No, 6 is free. So Mace Windu is at 6.
Okay.
Just to give you a counter up. So here are your open slots. You have open slots are 1, 4, 5, and 10. Say it again. 1, 4, 5, and 10.
All right. Well, next up in here is going to be probably one of the strongest characters in DC, but also Milestone Comics, because I don't understand why DC just hasn't ingested it. I don't know if there's legal issues or whatever, but DC, what in the hell is your problem? Why will you not make new stuff with Icon?
Same thing as Blue Marvel. Incredibly powerful characters that can mean a lot on a lot of. And just you think about those characters that can do pretty much anything. And if you just stacked up like, okay, this level threat is this team, this level threat is here, which ones are like, this is the world ending extinction level event, we got to call this person, like pull out their number, this is maybe only deployed by the president. Icon should be that person.
It should. I mean, I was debating whether to do Superman Earth 2, but I haven't read one story. I mean, maybe one or two, like on the crossovers and stuff like that. I don't know. I guess Michael B. Jordan is going to be him in a movie
Mm-hmm.
at some point. But all right, icon, the icon. I got a 15, so five is open.
Yes, sir.
All right, so I've got 3 more to go.
Again, those are 1, 4, and 10.
1, 4, and 10. Well, the next person on mine is the T'Challa, the Black Panther.
Yes, sir.
1, 4, and 10. You said.
Yes, sir.
All right. Where are we at? Okay, got a 4.
Nice.
All right, got a
So,
4 for Black
the Black
Panther.
but T'Challa version. Got it.
Yes, now I have 1 and a 10 left, and that's next up is the Spy of Spies. Yes, Nick Fury. A 1 or a 10. I got a 10, which means my number 1 is going to be the Daywalker, Blade.
Nice. So, to review your spots, at 1, we have Blade. At 2, Spider-Man Miles Morales. At 3, Spawn. 4, Black Panther, the T'Challa version, the version that most people know. Number 5, Icon. Number 6, Mace Windu. My computer likes to always change Windu to Wendy. Number 7, the Green Lantern, John Stewart. Number 8, the smartest man in the DC universe, Mr. Terrific. Number 9, Spawn. And number 10, shut your mouth, Nick Fury. All right.
Yeah, now we got to figure out who's getting X. And after that,
you
I think
do your cameo for. Okay, so we'll do the role, then we'll do the cameo. Go for it.
That's right. All right, here you go. Number 18, so 8.
So we just lost Mr. Terrific.
Oh, damn it! All right, 1 more, and 10.
You just lost Nick Fury.
All right, Nick. All right, Leia, you want to say hi?
Can you hold this for me, please, and thank yous? Holy, what the heck? These things are
Apparently, she can't figure out the.
Oh, okay, I figured it out.
All right, say hi.
Hi.
Hi, Princess Leia. How are you?
Good.
What you been doing this weekend?
What'd you do this weekend?
I helped you guys downstairs.
Yep, building our gym. Yeah,
building your gym. Yeah.
Nice.
And I went to my grandma's house today so she could fix me a blanket. And my cats are on 2 different couches.
So she could fix your blanket. What was broken with your blanket?
It's the blanket that I had since I was in the hospital.
Yep.
A newborn baby.
So did she need to sew like a patch on, or what was going on with it?
The entire outer rim was falling apart. So she had to put more fabric on
that
it.
makes it. And was Grandma successful?
Kind of like in Star Wars.
The
outer rim.
Your dad was smart. Okay.
All right, kiddo. Say bye.
You sound annoying.
I'm not. Just say bye. So
why do you have a dice?
I'll explain later.
And it's not a dice. It's a die. It's a die.
It's a dice.
No, it's a die.
It's a die.
All right, say bye.
A die is a person dying.
Okay. All right, say bye.
Bye.
Bye, princess.
All right. Leia, don't forget your thing.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I dug the outer. By the way, I dug the outer rim reference, so you won with me. Okay.
Thank you.
All
Even though my daughter named Leia didn't pick up on the Star Wars
that was
thing.
You might need to tighten up that parenting. So let's reset your top 8 now that we have them down. So your rounds will be Blade versus Miles Morales, Spawn v Black Panther, Icon versus Mace Windu, and John Stewart versus Spawn.
Okay, let's start it off. So Blade versus who?
Miles Morales.
Oh, damn it. Okay.
This would be an interesting. You could this to me, of your 4 fights, this to me is the one could go either way.
I agree. Okay, so Miles Morales is gonna talk. Yep. Miles Morales has
Spider-Man. That's Spider-Man talks.
Yep. That's right. He. You know what? I think I think I'm gonna take Blade out. I thought Blade was gonna go a lot further than this because
Sure.
he's pretty much invulnerable, but I don't think he's as strong as a Spider-Man. I think he's good. But okay, I'm just gonna do it. Miles Morales, Spider-Man is moving on.
Okay. All right. Then we have Spawn v. I would have loved to have seen Black Panther versus Blade. I was hoping that would be your draw, but instead we've got Spawn. So who is a Hell Spawn versus the dude who gets his power from drinking drinking a magical purple tea. So who you going with here?
I'm going to Spawn.
Okay. Again, it's your pick, but yes, I see your point there. So right now, round 2 will be Miles versus Spawn. Icon versus Mace Windu. Almost a replay. You got a guy who's a Jedi versus a guy who can do literally anything.
Yeah. So this would be a very, very tough one. However, I think when Mace Windu has the Force with him, even if he doesn't have a lightsaber, he can force push. He can do the things.
Sure.
I'm going to give it to Mace Windu.
Okay, so I'm going to pause here for a second. Number one, go. This is proof we've been doing this too long. I called the fight for Mace using Force, and I used he could Jedi mind trick Icon into surrendering, and that would do it. So he would use the Force to not overpower Icon, but to manipulate Icon and win that. I am not, and it'll be go from there. So yes, so give you flowers, sir.
Thank you.
Good call. Then your final fight of this round: John Stewart Green Lantern versus wait a minute. I put Spawn in 2 places. That's not right. Why'd I have Spawn in 2 places?
Oh, one was supposed to be Storm.
Storm. So number 9 is Storm, not Spawn. I apologize.
Okay. That's all right.
Yep.
So it's Green Lantern versus Storm?
Storm, yes.
Okay. So let's think about this.
I'm saying he just offers to put a ring on it. See what I did there? Okay, but yeah,
she would make a good. She would make a decent Storm.
Yeah, I mean, she would make a good Green Lantern, and I mean, if I could see just John Stewart, hey, if we play it out like she's single, her and Wolverine didn't work out, didn't work out her and T'Challa, here's John Stewart, hey, I'm different from the other guys, I'm serious, I can see it, I'm a vet, all the things, but
I agree.
Who you picking, the Lantern or the Omega level elemental mutant?
I'm gonna pick Storm.
So you think the Omega level mutant beats a space cop with a magic ring? Fair.
I do, only because she can control the weather, and the Lantern will run out.
Yes, she could extend the fight, and eventually
but they're going on a date later.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. By the way, as he should. Like I could see the pre-fight, like if this was like an actual like a UFC tournament. Like, hey, after this, what are you doing later?
Yeah. He's bowing down. He's like, you know what? You're a good guy. I'm a good guy.
He may even
you're gonna win.
Yeah. He's showing up in her locker room with some like biofreeze, like, hey, I got you. Or I can see this, and we really want to play it out. He's sitting there in like the tub after the fight, and all of a sudden the water goes from cool to downright freezing because she walks in the room just with a towel and is like, yes, Aurora.
Bright as day, black as night, baby.
You know what? Once you go black as night, you don't go back, baby. Okay. When the night is black, you don't go back. All right.
Ooh.
Yes.
That's the new Green Lantern.
Yes. DC is either going to steal that or sue us. Okay. So with that, so here is your next one. We've got Miles versus Spawn and Mace versus Storm. So
okay,
who you got? Miles versus Spawn. You want to say Storm? Miles Morales versus Spawn. That's your next fight. Okay.
Spawn's gonna win. He's got the power of hell. He can do too much. He can jump around, fly around pretty much with his cape. His cape's gonna protect him. Miles is gonna be like, dude, you are fucking cool as shit.
Miles is 16. It will be a fanboy and scared shitless.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I
Yeah.
will say I would not want Miles's mom coming after me after the fight. Like, hey,
Correct.
my mom wants to talk to you. No, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm really good. I'm really good. All right, and then we've got Mace versus Storm. Again, can you see Sam with that mace flow? Like, hey, the lightsaber's not the only thing that gets bigger.
That's right. Oh damn, this is a tough one because the lightsaber can take the electricity.
Absolutely.
The Force is going to dictate this one, and he's going to want to dictate her later. I'm going to
That
say
is a horrible pun. I'm not even going to address. All right, so you got Mace over Storm?
I got Mace over Storm.
Gotcha, sir. And he might want to be under Storm after the fight. All right, anyway.
Yeah.
So now this is going to be an interesting fight for you, sir. Spawn versus Mace Windu. Now, let's remember, Mace Windu, due to his force powers, you'd had him be Icon and Storm based on his force abilities, versus Spawn has drawn, you could argue, a weaker side of the bracket in that he beat Black Panther in his earlier battles and then fought off Miles Morales. So who do you got? Spawn versus Mace Windu.
All right, so Spawn versus Mace Windu. Mace Windu he's got his lightsaber. He's not afraid to tap into the dark side, if you know what I mean. And Spawn is a lot of that dark side as well. They're very, very similar characters. I really think they're going to go get beers later, but I'm taking Mace Windu to the final.
And you know what they say? When the side is black, you don't go back.
That's right. Black as night, baby. Black
yes, sir. So now coming out of your round is your number 6 seed, Mace Windu.
Yes.
All right. So just to let you know, I've got my top 10 badass fictional characters of color. I have, of the 10 that you've mentioned, I have, is it that many? Hang on, let me double check here.
Okay.
So we've got, okay, if I take only your top 10, I'll let you guess. Of how many of your top 10 do you think overlap with my top 10?
I think 6 or 7. 6. 7?
1.
1?
1.
1?
And
wow.
it will be apparent when I go through my list. Here we go.
All right.
All right, my friend. When you're ready, I'm ready. Okay, I'm just gonna go 10 to 1, and I will roll for their spot. You'll keep track, all right?
I will.
Give me 1 second to pull up my die. By the way, explain to your daughter the singular of die. The singular of dice is die. She had a real hard time with that one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so my number 10 spot before I roll is one of the few villains on my list. But this is the difference between how you did your list versus how I did mine. We said most badass characters. So you lean really into powerful. I lean into badass to swag. So number 10, red hat and all, hanging out, trying to make peace by culling the herd. Number 10 badass is the villain from the original Kingsman movie, one Richmond Valentine, played by Samuel L. Jackson. He is coming in at number 11, so he would be my 1 seed. Next up, also a villain, but someone that was really just living his truth, his trauma. For every hero, you need a badass villain, and I can't think of many that are more badass than Elijah Price, aka Mr. Glass. Say his name. Put respect on it, from Unbreakable and Glass. Elijah Price, also played by one Samuel L. Jackson.
All right, where's he going?
And he's coming in at number 6.
Number 6, Elijah Price.
Number 8, you know what? Someone's got to drive the car. Someone's got to just bring a little cool factor to it. So my pick at number 8, and I'm doing the roll now. They are going to come in at number 7, Mitch Hennessy from The Long Kiss Goodnight, played by one Samuel L. Jackson. My number 7 pick. You know, you may have wanted to say this person was a sidekick, but he's nobody's sidekick. You may even want to think that he's Puerto Rican. When people say hi to him, they go, "Hey, Zeus." And it's not. It is, "Hey, Zeus," the father of the gods, Zeus Carver from Die Hard Win a Vengeance, played by the one and only Mr. Samuel L. Jackson. He is my, oh, that's a reroll. He is my number, keep getting rerolls. He's my number 3 pick.
Zeus Carver. You know, all I gotta say about that is Sadate. Sadate.
Nice.
Why
nice.
is there not another Pootie Tang movie?
We should write it. We got to write it. Okay.
Okay.
My number 6 pick, we'll see where they land in seeding. You know what? You may call him vengeful. You may call him spiteful. I just call him hateful. From the Hateful Eight, Major Marquis Warren, played by the one and only Samuel L. Jackson. He comes in at number 8. That's funny. Okay.
All right. Marcus, what's his last name?
Warren.
Marcus Warren. Okay.
Yep. He is my number 8 pick. All right. Next up, someone that you almost put in your honorable mentions but did not. He's from The Incredibles and Incredibles 2. He is Lucius Best. You may know him as Frozone, also played by the one, the only Samuel L. Jackson. And he is going to be seated at number... Do I got a 3? I do not. He'd be my number 3 pick.
Oh, I thought Zeus Carver was number 3.
Wait, let me go back. Zeus is number 3. Good catch.
Yep.
So reroll there. He is my number 9 pick.
Number 9 is Frozone.
Yes.
Okay. Starting to fill up.
Yes, sir.
You got 2, 4, 5, and 10.
2, 4, 5, and 10. So this person is going to be slotted at number 2. He is Jules Winfield from Pulp Fiction, also played by one Samuel L. Jackson. So that leaves us 4, 5, and 10, I believe.
Yep. 2, 4, 5, and 10.
Well, that he is number 2, so he just took up 2 spot.
All right, so Jules.
Yep. So we've got 4, 5, and 10. So coming in.
Okay.
And I'm doing a lot of rerolls here, but 2, 4. Oh, I got him at 10. Number 10. Shut your mouth. Probably a sign that a person is playing just themselves. It's also his person played by one Samuel Jackson. It is his role as Shaft.
Yeah. Shaft should have been mine.
So that leaves us 4 and 5. All right. At number 5, the one character we had in common, he was my number 2 pick, but he will be my number 5 in seeding, Mace Windu. And that leaves at 4, of course, the number 1 character played by Samuel Jackson, most badass version, as you guessed by my themes, Nicholas J. Fury. And he's going to be number 4. Okay.
So we had 2 in the top 10 there.
We did. Oh, yeah. You had Nick Fury, didn't you?
Okay. Yeah, he got X'd out. Yep. He got X'd out.
I got you. Okay. So that's why I didn't know, because I X'd him out. All right. So by my math, my number 1 is Valentine, and my number 2 is Jules Winfield.
Yeah, but you got to roll the dice 2 more times to see who is.
Got to roll to eliminate. Shoot. All right, here we go. I love them all, but let's see who's going. My number 10 pick. No, I'm sorry. My number 20 would be 10 as well, correct?
Yep. So Shaft is out of it. So one might say you got the Shaft.
And that's what the lady said. That's what the lady said. So I lose Shaft, and next up is got a reroll rolling. My number 5. Mace Windu. Wow.
Oh, all
We
right.
could have had Mace v. Mace. We will not have Mace v. Mace. Okay.
All right. So now it is time to move on to round number 2, Brian, where you have to make your pick between Richmond Valentine
Yes, sir.
and Jules.
All right. Well, this is going to be pretty straightforward. While Richmond Valentine is incredibly smart and I like his personality, if you look at just who's going to win in a fight, especially if it's 1v1, it's got to be the hitman for hire, Jules Winfield. All right. So next up, we're going to have
Zeus Carver versus Nick Fury.
This is probably my easiest draw. Of course,
Yeah.
we're going with Nicholas J. Fury over Zeus Carver.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So that means Elijah Price versus Mitch Hennessy.
How can you ever vote against Mr. Glass? The planning, the plotting, the machinations. We got to go with Elijah Price over Mitch Hennessy.
And finally, Marcus Warren or Frozone.
I'm gonna go, even though Frozone has similar powers as Iceman, Killer Frost, that entire person, Mr. Freeze. I feel like Frozone's a family man. We even see that, he follows through. He really worries about his friends, his wife. Where is his super suit? I feel like Marcus Warren would not hesitate to pull a trigger and take out our boy Frozone. So I'm going with Major Marquis Warren over Frozone.
All right. So that leaves you going into round number 3. Is it going to be Jules Winfield or the one, the only Nick Fury?
As much as I love Jules Winfield, I think I've shared you before, Pulp Fiction is my favorite movie of all time. I feel like Nick could get Jules monologuing, get him into some type of philosophical debate. He's trying to do better. He's trying to walk the earth a la Kung Fu. He's trying not to pull the trigger. Nick would not hesitate because he views his way of the world as the best way of the world. He also survived Secret Invasion. So we're going to give the Nick Fury versus Jules Winfield to Nick Fury.
All right. So now it is Elijah Price or Marcus Warren.
This is tough because I can make the argument that Marquis could win. Same version with his previous fight. He would plan, he would plot, he would be ready. But the biggest difference here would be Marquis also is capable of planning. Marcus also capable of plotting. And I think this is where Marquis's physical capabilities might outweigh the unfortunate physical barriers that Mr. Glass faces. And I'm going to give it up to Marquis Warren. So we're going to have in my final, by my tally, Nick Fury versus Marcus Warren. Is that what you have?
That's what I got. All right. Give it to me, man.
This one is, again, an easy draw. We got the Hateful Eight versus Nick Fury. I think this one would go the most rounds, but at the end of the day, you got to go with the leader of one of the biggest intelligence agencies, the leader, the uncrowned leader of the Avengers, the man who was so astute he didn't realize he was married to an alien for many years, but that's okay because he still kept his one good eye on the prize. So we're going with Nick Fury out of my bracket.
Son of a flurkin.
Son of a flurkin. And by
Son
the
of
way,
a flurkin.
if he brings Goose along. All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I've got us in our finals, Nick Fury versus Mace Windu.
It is Nick Fury versus my Mace Windu.
So let's pause and set this up. So we don't discuss our picks. We had 20 different picks. Yes, all 10 of mine were played by the same person.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at yours, 2 of your top 10 were paid by the same person. So we have, out of when we look at the most badass fictional characters of color, by my math, we had 20 characters played by 9 different actors The final two are played by the godfather of our show, the
On our
spirit
Mount
guide of
Rushmore.
our show, on our Mount Rushmore, the day before MLK Day as we're recording. It is Mace Windu, the coolest of all Jedis, versus Nick Fury, the linchpin, the Rosetta Stone, the foundation of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, both played by one Samuel Jackson. Sir, before we decide who wins, we cannot go wrong with this pick. So let's
100%.
do it. Let's
And
do
Disney owns both of them.
yes, sir. And
The
remember
mouse
L,
wins. The mouse
and the
wins no
mouse will
matter who.
always win. And remember, the L stands for yes,
Yeah.
sir.
All right, man. Is there a version of Nick Fury? Are you going straight up MCU?
I'm
Are
gonna go
you
straight
going
up
comics?
MCU because I'm not going old school David Hasselhoff, and the character when they updated him in the comics, they were inspired by Samuel Jackson. We got to go
Yeah.
Samuel Jackson's version. All right, sir.
Has the white version of Nick Fury been back in the comics since Iron Man?
I
don't know.
I don't believe so. Again, especially with the MCU, and they made the initial switch when they released the Ultimates version of the characters, and that kind of inspired everything that happened in the MCU. So I don't see we're going to the old school White Howling Commandos version again, especially because that character, while I think it was intentional, completely resembled David Hasselhoff, and I think they're kind of trying to make him cooler than that. Yep.
Yeah, and you don't get much cooler than Samuel Jackson, and
especially if your choices are David Hasselhoff and Samuel. No. By the way, no shade to the Hoff. Come on if you want to, anytime.
Yeah,
but
I mean, Knight Rider. I love Knight Rider.
I love it's a Knight Rider, and for a while there, him running in slow motion wasn't completely problematic. As the show got on, it was like,
and well, happy birthday, Nicole Eggert.
Yes. Oh, Charles in Charge, man.
Dude, man. Yes.
I will say this one. Now, Scott Baio, with a lot of his preferences, I'm not a fan of Scott Baio. I will tell you, I promise you, if you'd have left me alone with both Nicole Eggert and Josie Swinton, I think. By the way, if you check out her on 2.5 Men, my goodness.
Really?
Dude, just Google.
I will.
Google her and her appearance on 2.5 Men. I think some other things too, but definitely 2.5 Men.
Okay.
Yes, sir. You could have. I would have sent the little brother to the store every day. Like, nah, dude, nah.
Yeah.
Nah, hop on the bus. Be back in a few hours. Dude.
Go.
Just go.
All right, man. So
for
the final, we need to clarify which version. Because I am using the movie version of Mace Windu. I don't really think there's more than one version of him. I think there's a version
timeline, there's different ages. So it's the same core character.
Absolutely. Yep. And with Nick, you said you're using the MCU version of him.
Sir.
All right. Strengths and weaknesses. Well, Mace Windu has the Force. He has a lightsaber, and he's always going to have those with him. He may or may not have a good portion of his body as robotic.
Yes.
You know what? I bet you within the next 10 years we're going to have new Mace Windu stuff. I'm sure.
It would not shock me. It would not shock me at all.
Maybe he'll come back for Rey. I don't know.
Could see it.
I could definitely see it. All right, man. So do you want to go first? Do you want to explain to me where Nick Fury is going to, or you just want to call this as a Samuel Jackson win?
Well, it is a Samuel Jackson, but I will make my case for Nick Fury. So the big part about Nick Fury is similar to how we talk about Superman. Sometimes Superman just wins because he's Superman. Sometimes Batman just wins because he's Batman. Nick Fury, at the end of the day, will always be Nick flipping Fury. Nicholas J. Fury Sr. His abilities is he's a master of espionage. Iron Man said it himself. He's the spy's spy. He is the spy. He is the leader of the largest intelligence network, whether we're talking SHIELD or SWORD. He has almost unlimited resources, a military strategist, master of special operations, armed and unarmed combat. They don't show it a lot in the movies, but the man can flip and fight. And the other big part of it is he's got his flirking. So I think when you bring all this, I find it hard to believe that anybody's beating a one-eyed black man with an alien cat that eats people. with that being said, that is my argument for Nicholas J. Fury. And the other piece is, I really think Nick Fury, given his intelligence, his resiliency, his somewhat scheming nature, I think he could fight off the Force's manipulations.
But do you think in a random encounter that he's going to be having his flirkin with him, walking down the street in a neutral location without any time to prepare?
Plan. Okay.
Taking away that, and they're going to meet in the fight. Now, Mace is going to have his lightsaber with him.
True.
They're going to be bros. Absolutely going to be
bros.
Hang. They're going to hang. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And but the Force and the lightsaber, the Mace Windu was the Grand Master. He stepped down after Episode 1 and gave it to Yoda. He was the Grand Master of the Jedi Council
by choice.
Before Yoda.
Down. He stepped down. He was not
actually
removed.
He more or less stepped aside, I think.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I don't know if he stepped down. But as short as Yoda is, hard to step down to Yoda's level.
I think what really happened in that is they were like, oh wait, Yoda's not the one in charge. They're like, wait, we better fix that up a little bit.
You know what happened? I think on some level, Mace was like, oh, this whole monastetic thing. Wait, what? I gotta live as a monk? Nah. Wait, because he probably ran into Padme in the hallway. Like, yo, what's good?
Get these motherfucking snakes off this motherfucking starship.
I really wish Luke and Leia would have came out with a little melanin to him. Like, he'd had to explain that. Like,
dude, Lando should have been an honorable mention too.
Lando definitely would have been. I went on that Mace Windu, Lando Calrissian child support. I went on that Jerry Springer show. Like, caught me.
It's like on all these different planets, and then
all Mace can say is my bad.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh man.
Here's my clap back then. All right. So we talk about preparation and where they meet. We talked about these battles happening on a neutral space.
Yeah.
So if you take Mace out of Star Wars universe, does he come with the Force? Now he comes with the saber. The saber, I will say, works on mechanics and physics. I will say he would have the lightsaber as a machine, as a weapon. Any place. I would even give him the Jedi training of the combat. But does he, if you take Mace and put him in, let's say, the MCU or any place other than the Star Wars universe, does he have the Force?
Yes, because the Force is in their blood, because that's where the midichlorians
live. Okay.
That's right. That's right.
So here's my thought. If he's got the Force with him, and you're right, if you take away the advantage of Nick Fury being able to plan, and he doesn't have Goose, and I would not shock if he had Goose as outwalk, taking Goose for a walk.
Yeah.
Even if Goose unarms the saber from Mace, which how the fight would happen. Let's give Samuel Jackson Goose.
Okay.
Goose's primary thing, he would try and disarm Mace, so he probably eats the saber. Once that move happens, I can see the use of force, agility, force push. I still will say Samuel Jackson. I don't necessarily think the mind control would work, but then it is a physical battle. And they've not talked about Samuel Jackson having the Infinity Formula, which is one of the reasons why in the comics he lives so long. So they've not introduced that as part of his MCU character. I can't lean into that. I got to give it to Mace. And I also think that the Flurkin may take the lightsaber, but it's like a toss of a lightsaber. It's going to come back. He's going to ignite it in the Flurkin. You think he would kill Goose?
He's going to kill Goose with the lightsaber. He's going to pull it back out of him.
Nothing Mace is a Flurkin lover.
I don't think he's ever seen a Flurkin.
But they're so cute. Come on now.
They are cute.
They are hella cute.
Cats are evil. The cats are trying to take over the world. They're just too lazy to enact their plan.
Fair. And they get distracted by laser pointers and like catnip and all the things. So I feel you there.
All right, so the winner is Mace Windu. That was fun. We got a couple of games to play yet.
Yes, sir.
Do you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
I will go first. So
all
right. So let's do pick your Poison Garden movies. So do you want to do it as a worst clues ever, or the same plot, different character, same movie, whichever you pick?
I've had really good luck lately on the worst clues ever, so I'm going to stick with that. And I'm going to do a worst clues ever.
Gotcha, my friend. All right, so here we go. Now, to give you a little context, instead of just giving you 3 random clues or having any type of context, here's the context. So, in this movie, one of the actors in the movie was in other movies, one of which was directed by Oliver Stone. These are all well-known movies. So this actor from the mystery movie was in films that were directed by Oliver Stone, James Gunn, and John Singleton, respectively. Again, they were in movies directed by Oliver Stone, James Gunn, and John Singleton, respectively. Clue number 2. Another actor in this film was on TV shows where his co-stars in one TV show was Crockett and Tubbs. Co-stars in another show was Marcy Darcy. And co-star in the third option was a character named Cameron Tucker. And then finally, before they were in the mystery movie, the stars of this film became well known as television actors. One star in the show was in the show Living Single. One star of the movie was in the show The Walking Dead. We've mentioned that a little bit tonight. And this may seal it for you. One star of this movie was in a TV show, Saint Elsewhere.
Is it Lenny James?
What is the movie again? What's the movie?
Oh gosh.
So again, the mystery movie has an actor that was in movies directed by Oliver Stone, James Gunn, and John Singleton. Another actor in the movie cast was in TV shows where his co-stars were Crockett and Tubbs, Marcy Darcy, and Cameron Tucker. Those are the names of the characters.
Mhm.
And then if you look at the cast, before they were famous as movie actors, they were famous on television. One starred in a show called Living Single. One starred in the Walking Dead, and I will give you a hint. It was the early seasons of The Walking Dead, and lastly, Saint Elsewhere. What movie?
Okay, so I'm going with Lenny James as the character because he was in that season 1 of Walking Dead. And when I'm thinking of my favorite Lenny James movies, I'm really thinking, is it Snatch?
It is not. It is not. I give you one more guess on this one, and then we will try it as the
Okay.
same plot, different characters. I give you one more guess, my friend.
All right.
Lenny James was a really good guess, though.
My gosh, you might get me on this one, man. Let's see. I'm thinking. When we were talking a lot about Michonne, but I don't know a lot about Denai's
Other work?
filmography.
Sure.
She came in season 3, which was still from their end. I know she's worked with Gunn because Marvel.
Yep.
Black Panther.
It is not. Now, here we go, my friends. So I'm going to switch it over to the same plot, different characters. So again, I'm going to give you the overall general plot of the film, and I will use it describing, while it's the same actors, them as different characters within their filmography.
Okay.
Here we go. Yandu Udanta is on the case and works to solve crimes that have ravaged his city. In order to protect modern families, he contacts his buddy Jay to begin tracking down this master criminal. Joined by the ex-wife of Sherlock Holmes, this girl interrupts the crime spree by working with two local equalizers to ultimately survive the hurricane and prove that they got game. I haven't stumped you in a few weeks.
You haven't, but you're gonna tonight, man.
I'm gonna read it one more time.
Yeah.
Yandu Danta is on the case as crimes have ravaged his city. In order to protect the modern families, he contacts his buddy Jay to begin tracking down this master criminal. Joined by the ex-wife of Sherlock Holmes, this girl interrupts the crime spree by working with two local equalizers to ultimately survive the hurricane and prove that they got game. What is the mystery movie?
Dude, I'm bowing out on this one.
This movie stars a badass fictional character of color. So let's run it through this one a little easier. So Yandu Danta is played by Michael Rooker. And is on the case to stop crime that have ravaged the city. In order to protect modern families, that was a clue, he contacts Jay. So Jay from Modern Family is played by Ed O'Neill. They begin tracking down this master criminal, joined by Sherlock Holmes's ex-wife. Now, this was a bit of a trick. So you had to know an actor's personal life. But if you know this actor's personal life, this actress, I should say, has been married 3 times. So her first marriage was to an actor by the name of Johnny Lee Miller, who plays Sherlock Holmes in the show Elementary. All right. That is Angelina Jolie. And the other hint was Girl Interrupts from Girl Interrupted.
Yep.
And then has a crime spree, work with two local equalizers. So in the cast, you have two actors that have played the same character, one on television, one in movies. Queen Latifah plays the equalizer on television. Denzel Washington plays the equalizer in the movies. So we have a movie that stars Michael Rooker, Ed O'Neill, Angelina Jolie, Queen Latifah, and Denzel Washington, featuring a badass character of color. And a few of them. Do you know the movie, sir? And if you don't, I've got a bone to pick with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna be mad when you say it.
Again, if you don't get it right, I have a bone to pick with you.
Oh God.
I have a bone to pick with you. Like, I'm gonna collect my grievances and pick a bone with you.
I know you're giving me the biggest hint, and I'm just not even picking it up, man.
It is the Bone Collector.
The Bone. Oh God, that's right. That's right. Okay, I get it now.
So to make the worst clues ever make sense, Michael Rooker was in JFK with Oliver Stone. He was out in the Guardians movies. I forget who he was in, directed by John Singleton. Ed O'Neill, early in his career, and I had this up in the filmography. He was in an early episode of Miami Vice, but Marcy Darcy was the name of the neighbor in Married with Children, and Cameron Tucker is his son-in-law in Modern Family. And then Queen Latifah starred in Living Single. Michael Rooker, again, the early seasons of The Walking Dead, starred in The Walking Dead, obviously. And then Denzel Washington first came to prominence as one of the stars of St. Elsewhere. So again, the movie was The Bone Collector. All right, my friend.
Okay, well done.
That was tricky. I didn't give you easy one. I made that one hard.
That's okay. That's okay. Well, I guess.
By the way, that's what happens when I sometimes pull things. Never mind. All right. So, okay. You say you have a bill me later. Is that?
I have a bill you later. So here's what it is.
Okay.
I'm going to give you the year that the movie came out.
Okay.
And the movie. You have to tell me the top 5 billing in correct order, according to IMDb.
Okay.
All right. And I'm sticking with people from my list.
Okay.
I wanted to stick with the Wesley Snipes. So we are going to do Blade Trinity.
No.
2004.
No.
Blade Trinity.
The
I
one I've
figured-
seen the least. Oh God.
but the one that has the most bigger stars in it.
Yes, and that might help. Now I also got to think about what year was the film come out again?
2004. It is
So gotta think
21
about-
years old.
Wow. So I also got it so it can drink now.
It
So I
can
also
drink,
got to
yeah.
think about in 2004 where they were in their careers at that point, because
Yeah.
like perfect example is Ryan Reynolds today was not where Ryan Reynolds was 21 years ago. I think you say that
He might have been waiting.
yeah. Versus the other side of it, Jessica Biel then versus Jessica Biel now.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like she's fallen out of seventh heaven.
Yeah.
By the way, Stephen Collins, you're a creepy guy. All right. So, all right, here's what we're going to do.
He likes to be called daddy.
In a lot of ways. Oh, dude. That's just.
Was that bad?
Yeah, it was bad. And that theme song, just real quick before we get into it, if you want to know what we're talking about Stephen Collins, Google. But
Yeah.
that theme song used to give me the creeps before I knew that he was creepy. It
Yeah.
was so chipper and happy, it made me uncomfortable. Like, seventh heaven. No.
Yeah, it reminded me of Highway to Heaven, which that's a show that could work today.
It could. It was
It
streaming
really
on
could.
Netflix. I wonder if it's still there. But Highway to Heaven was available on Netflix not that long ago. And it would work today. It would work.
You know, it'd be a good show. You know what? We should
It would be a good
revenge that
feel-good
some
show.
night.
It would be a good feel-good show. In fact,
Yeah.
what about our list? Before we get into this, what about next week's list for the Nerdageddon Turn of Awesome? How about our best angelic / demonic characters? So they have to have some type of either angel or demonic aspect to that. So that can be like Highway to Heaven. That could be Touched by an Angel. That could be Lucifer, and Lucifer's got a variety of versions. That could even be, let's say, Nightcrawler. So this will be very interesting. All right.
I like it. Yes.
All right. So I was also on my way of trying to stall for time while I try and get it out. So this will be the top 5, correct? That's what else will be on my list will be for Bill.
Top 5. Yep.
Okay. So number 1's pretty easy. Going to go Wesley Snipes.
Absolutely. I'll give you that one because that's a give me. That one's going to be gimme. Now, where are you going to put 4 more?
It's been so long since I saw Blade Trinity. Also, the worst of the 3. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't Blade or Blade.
It also wasn't
Blade
good. You know, yeah.
It wasn't good. I mean, I appreciate the wardrobe that they gave for Jessica Biel. I mean, truthfully.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
By the way, if they come up with Wolverine Deadpool 2, bring her out. By the way, have you seen any of the photos with Mr. Timberlake and what his situation is? She may be a very sad woman. Okay, so again, me trying to steal time. I don't even remember who the antagonist was in Blade Trinity.
Ooh, all right. So it looks like I might have you then.
You may have me. That's probably what I would get. So
right.
I'm gonna skip 2, see if I can come up with it. So 3, I'm gonna have. Oh God. Okay, I know you give me a hint, and this is not tracking. Okay, 3, and I think I'm gonna lose it right here at 3. I'm gonna go Jessica Biel because I know she plays. I just got it. Number 2, Christopher Christopherson as Christopher Christopherson. Number 2.
So is Whistler, yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking he may have been because he's not in the movie for very long. Again, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, he dies. So I was thinking he may have been given that his screen time that may have moved him to maybe later in the cast. So we'll put him at number 2. So that makes it feel better saying Jessica Biel at number 3.
Okay.
4, gotta go Ryan Reynolds.
Okay.
5, because they hyped this so much on, I think back then, WWF television, that they may have put him in number 5. I'm going to go Triple H.
So Parker Posey was in that movie as well.
Oh, I forgot about Parker.
Yeah, she was in the movie. But okay, so you're off.
Okay.
You're off.
I figured I was. All right.
Yep. But that's okay. But you had 1 and 2 right, which is Wesley Snipes and Whistler.
Right with 1 and 2. Okay.
Right. It is correct. You're right.
Okay.
Number 3 was the villain, who was Drake, played by Dominic Purcell.
Oh, fair.
Oh, that's right.
Fair.
Heatwave from Legends of Tomorrow as well. Such a really good character.
Prison Break. Dominic Purcell is by himself is a great actor,
It
and
was.
you're right, and it is, and was a good character. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Number 4 was absolutely Jessica Biel.
Okay.
And number 5 was Ryan Reynolds.
So if I'd have dropped Dominic Purcell in, I'd have been right because Triple H would have made my list. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Fair.
Awesome. Well done. I do have an honest ad this week.
I do, my friend. Are you
I'm ready for it. I'm ready.
So, where Bradley and I currently reside, we are catching hell because just how cold it is. All right. And by the way, Bradley, I was about a week ago, years old, when I learned that the phrase cold as hell is actually cold as hail, Hail, which makes a lot more sense. All right. So,
Yeah.
with that being said, I'm also the person that thought that a yellow cake with chocolate frosting is called chocolate cake, and I apparently am the only person in my group that called it that. All right.
So actually, dude, I got you're not alone.
Okay.
My wife is with you on this one. She says that the frosting covers the color, so therefore you have to go with your eyes and you have to say chocolate cake because it's the first thing you're going to taste. You're like, it's vanilla, it's chocolate cake.
Fair. Okay, here we go. All right. So honest ad, dealing with when it's really, really cold temperature. So here is my honest ad of when it is below zero. Elsa, Iceman, even Jack Frost. Brave these frigid temperatures at your own cost. Your hands begin to hurt and your car door is frozen. Only go outside if you are unlucky and are so chosen. If you face this nightmare, show no fear. You could damage your face if you dare shed a tear. You may slide, you may slip, you may even make a ripple. Be careful with your coat and shirt. You don't want to lose a nipple. Be safe, stay warm, and remember this rule, dear chums. Double up on every layer to protect your fingers, toes, and that extra thumb. That is my honest ad for below zero temperature, sir.
I love it. I love it, man. All right, man. We talked about next week. Best angelic and demonic creatures works for me.
Yes, sir.
Better than us human of the week. I'm gonna guess we're gonna probably be the same thing on this one.
Let's hear it. Who you got?
Martin Luther King Jr. Celebrate the day tomorrow because that's what it's about. I don't know if you want to take this one, my friend.
All right. Well, mine also is Martin Luther King. So before we get to that, I also want to give heads up. You probably saw it as well. Earlier this week, Bob Uecker passed away. So again, those of us that are fans of fantastic 80s, 90s TV and movies. He was on Mr. Belvedere. He famously was the sports commentator in the first and best Major League movie. And as fans of the WWF, back when it was the WWF, the initial few WrestleManias, he was a big part of those. He made the WWE Hall of Fame and just was a damn funny guy. Turned his lifetime 200 batting average or something like that into a great sports Hall of Fame career as a commentator, a WD Hall of Fame career, acting roles both in TV and movies, and for all reports, was just a generally great human being.
Mm-hmm.
But then, obviously, with tomorrow being January 20th, Martin Luther King Jr. I obviously am a person of color. That's wondering why we did our Get It On tournament tonight, and just want to say this country has a lot of we call it a melting pot. I like the idea of a stew better because we all are not the same. You see two very different people hosting this podcast every single week, and we come together over nerddom. That's why you don't hear us get into a lot of the other stuff. We try and keep it positive, try and keep it fun. That's why my outro is always what I talk about regarding my Facebook content. But truthfully, we live in what can be the greatest country on the planet. We are inaugurating a new president tomorrow for the second time. Let's just keep sight of all the great things that lots of men and women have done over the hundreds of years of this country. We have a problematic history. Denying that serves no one. But moving forward together is what we need to do. So to Martin Luther King, to everyone that has spilled their blood, their sweat, their tears, given their lives in uniform, out of uniform, and just everyday people, thank you so much. And let's remember that tomorrow on and every day, but especially tomorrow as it is Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Agree 100% with everything that you said, from Bob Euchre to Martin Luther King Jr. This is
just a bit outside.
We will be posting this episode on all the things tomorrow in celebration of MLK. All right, man. Let's see, if you want to find, friend, or follow us, where can they find you?
All right. My name is Brian Steven. That's what the S stands for. You can find me in the Book of Faces. Give me a like, give me a follow, give me a friend request. Like I said before, I always try and keep my content funny and occasionally weird.
You can find me at Facebook at Nerd Positive, YouTube at Nerd Positive 1, and yes, TikTok is back, so at Nerd Positive 1 or movies.bs. Instagram at the Fandemic 1. If you got more to say, want to be part of the conversation, reach out. Who knows? You could be part of might be the next guest on Nerd Positive. If you want to support the show, you go to buymeacoffee.com/nerdpositive or patreon.com/nerdpositive. I want to thank you for leveling up my awesome and being part of the Nerd Positive family. Don't forget to spread the word and help others level up their awesome as well. Make sure you share the show. Make sure you leave us a review so we climb that mountain of the million podcasts, and we'll go from there. Brian, I think we are at max levels of awesome. How do we end every episode?
Well, again, thank you so much, everyone in the Nerd Positive Fandemic universe, for joining us. We, again, as you said, we've buried the needle on awesomeness. So thank you again. Catch us here next week. Thank you for surviving the pandemic. Thank you for becoming Nerd Positive. And remember, some words of wisdom. First off, no retreat, no surrender. And please remember that Goonies never say die.
Friendship is like peeing on yourself. Everyone can see it, but only you get the warm feeling that it brings. Every time you feel stupid, you just got a little bit smarter. And by the way, squirrels' cheeks are still their nutsacks. I'm going to leave you with just a couple of questions. Who's stronger, Hulk or Thor? Who's faster, Superman or the Flash? Who the hell is Nala's father? And lastly, what's in the motherfucking box? Have a good day.
Bye-bye, folks.